Oh, jam! Hello again and welcome to the Manapool. This is the Manapool number 518, which, as you well know, is not a small number.
It also means we can count.
I don't know, I had to look up what the last episode was, pull up the calculator on Windows and hit +1. It told me it was 518.
Thank goodness it was +1.
It also means that only at least one of us can count.
So I am Chewy, the lead dork, and with me as always are these other dorks. Hi, dorks.
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group. You're going to hear my voice a lot because, again, it's preview time, and I love me some previews. And if I was starting a political party, our animal would not be a donkey or an elephant. It would be a squirrel.
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy. And if I were starting a political party, the animal would be a crow.
Ooh, a storm crow?
Just a regular one.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say not a Jim Crow, right?
No, that's...
Oh.
No. Oh, come on, man. Whoa.
I had to make sure.
Whew.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And I am not the math person. And if I had a political party, it would be a tree.
All right, mine would be a badger.
Mushroom. A snake.
Snake?
I had honestly thought that Chewy's would be Trogdor.
Or maybe Grillabrand.
There's about to be a Trogdor board game.
There is?
Yeah,
it's
they're
gonna
running
get
it
on Kickstarter. I'm going to get a copy for us to play.
Nice.
Did the Penny Arcade board game actually get produced? It looked like it was going to.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about...
the Ironwood. Yeah, Thornwatch.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Cool.
it did.
Awesome.
All right,
Good thing.
so now that we're done with board game cast, hello. For those of you listening at home, you might notice some small differences because this is the first time that we are going to be live streaming the show for a non-special reason, just because we wanna. Well,
First time, but not the last.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
This is the test run to make sure we can actually do this. So, hopefully we can actually do this. So you might hear us talking to chat every once in a while, but not much. And if so, we'll be sure to read out whatever we're responding to so that the people listening at home don't get frustrated because that would piss people off.
Because they can't see it, yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't want the people that are here to feel like, well, why am I here if they're not acknowledging me? And so we'll try and strike a balance.
Yeah, pretend it's an Overwatch stream. I'm not going to be looking at chat all that much. So...
And I promise that I will not be staring at it constantly.
Okay, good.
Starting now.
So, for those of you that are listening to this later and were like, oh man, I could have been watching live, you could. It's on twitch.tv/themanapool, and we are recording it's about 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Start times are going to be kind of weird because somebody is always late every week. On Monday Night Magic, it's always Clues. On this show, it's always everyone else, myself included.
It'd be really weird if it was Clues.
It would.
But would not surprise us.
Not at all, no.
I think it surprised us more when he finally shows up.
So, on the Manapool number 518, that's this one, we will be looking at Commander 2018. By the way, I know Core Set 2019 just came out. This is Commander 2018. Yes, it's confusing. Yes, I know. When I was typing out a tweet for it earlier, I got hashtag MTGC1, and 18 and 19 both popped up in the autocomplete. And I went, because that means enough people are using C19 to where Twitter thinks that's a thing that I should be using.
Yeah.
Like, so, I have Stark in the chat said this overlay looks rad, Chewy. Thanks, buddy. And look, there's another one. Bam. What? So now you can see what I see, and I see some commander cards. So, whoops. So how do we want to do this, Dorks? We haven't actually talked about anything to do on this episode.
We want... Okay, so there's 4 decks, and each deck is based around the... Obviously, there's more than one commander in the deck so that you can choose which one you want, but I think a lot of the themes are illustrated by the planeswalkers, correct? Is that an accurate statement?
Dude,
so
I don't know.
I would suggest running through the 4 planeswalkers, since there's one in each deck, and they also give you the colors for each deck as well as the themes, and then going from there. How's that sound?
Sure, why not?
All right, great.
Was the 4th planeswalker in an article today?
It was.
Guide.
It was. And so I'll go ahead and take that one first because it's the most Brian of them, and I have it open. So ha 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 ha. This is Aminatu, the fate shifter.
Okay, I want to say, holy crap, Brian got that right on the first try.
There's a little pronunciation guide, so that's the only way.
Well,
the only
damn
way.
it.
Could someone put that link?
Boom! There you go.
Okay. So
all right.
Discord.
So Aminatu, the fate shifter. She costs an Esper, a white, a blue, and a black. Comes in with 3 loyalty. She has a +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library. -1, blink a permanent you own. Exile it, then return to the battlefield under your control. It's not delayed, so it's not like an end of turn or anything like that. Just blink it, bring it right back. And it's only permanents you own. And she can't target herself. -6, choose left or right. Each player gains control of all non-land permanents other than Aminatu, controlled by the next player in the chosen direction. And she can be your commander.
Everybody swap.
Yeah, basically. And because you get to pick, you're going to be like, I'm sitting between Chewy and Mike. And I'm looking at Chewy. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty nice. Here, Mike, you have my
crap.
Yeah. Here's my pilgrim. What's the pilgrim that gets you a land? Like, or stuff like that. You get all my. I'm gonna build the deck so that you're not getting great stuff, but I'm getting Chewy's awesome stuff. So as I've told, for those that are listening and those in the chat and all that good stuff, I actually have purposely not seen too many previews because I wanted to have more of the experience of, oh wow, that's awesome. But I did see each of the planeswalkers, and I think they're actually all really cool. But if this is one of these things where the 4 of us get together, there's 4 decks and everybody divvies them up, I am calling dibs on this one. I don't even know what the rest of the deck does, but it just screams Brian, like at the top of its lungs. So, because it's weird and awesome. So, but there's 3 others here as well. So,
and this is the terrifying little girl.
Yeah, this is the terrifying
little
girl.
art for.
Yeah. It's interesting, if you read the article, they're saying that they have not even decided what her plane of origin is, and it may be one that they haven't even designed yet. But her abilities seem terrifying. Like, she can basically see destiny, and she can change your destiny with one of those crazy moth things around her. So you can just decide, hey, guess what? You die in a car crash today. And she's 8 years old. My daughter's going to be 8 in a couple of months. This is terrifying.
Can she see destiny?
That would explain a lot. Can she change people's destinies? I don't know.
Can she shove cards across the table?
Yes.
Okay.
She was playing Phase 10 with us while we were at the beach last week.
Nice.
So, obviously, this deck will be Esper colors, and will probably have some deck manipulation. Certainly feeds into that first ability, or comes into onto the battlefield effects that you can manipulate with that second ability. And then once it's on the battlefield, maybe you don't mind losing it to that last ability. But we'll see once we have the full deck list how it turns out. Who's another planeswalker?
Okay, wait a minute. Two things. One, Nerd Soda, thank you for the 100 bits. You my boy Blue. And then 10th Tech Priest said in the chat, so she's Destiny's Child?
Ooh, boy.
Yep. Okay. Just so everyone knows, we hate you. Now, so how about, whoops. Hang on, I gotta fix my screen. There we go. How about I'll take, I'll take Saheeli. She's the only two-colored one. She's boring.
There you go.
She's actually not boring at all, but, you know.
Well, that actually makes sense because if I think the Jund one looks like Mike, and then only the last one then has green and blue in it. So
And it's enchantments, so yeah, that one's totally dirt.
Yeah. All right, so for Chewy.
So Saheeli the Gifted is the Planeswalker commander in the blue-red artifact deck.
She looks
like you do.
awfully pleased with herself, does she not? I mean,
wouldn't you be if you had to get stuff banned from Standard?
that's true. That is true.
She's like, I messed with Standard. Okay, so Saheeli the Gifted for 2 a blue and a red starts with 4 loyalty. Her +1 create a 1/1 servo. Yay, servo.
Nice.
Yay.
+1, the next spell you cast this turn has affinity for artifacts. Don't think you could get that past us. We know what you're doing. I'm looking at the camera as if I have a face cam because I'm streaming.
And that's also a plus, not a minus. Ooh.
Yeah. So the actual wording is the next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control as you cast it.
Affinity.
Exactly. I like the as you cast it, so someone can go, response, blow up 2 of your artifacts. Yeah, they respond to the ability.
Yeah.
Okay, and then her limit break -7 for each artifact you control. Create a token that's a copy of it. Okay, I'll just let that sink in. For all your artifacts, creature or not, you get a token that's a copy of it. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. Those tokens gain haste. Okay. Exile those tokens at the beginning of the next end step. So, those servos you've been making to crank up your, what's the word? Loyalty?
Affinity. Yeah, affinity, loyalty, etc.
Okay, you get double those, so that's cool. That big weird artifact over there that's gonna do a thing to make someone swear, well, you got another one. Yeah, and then, of course, all the big artifact creatures, like your, I guess if you're a monster, your Blightsteel Colossi, you know, those can, now you have 2 to hit people with.
If you're a more reasonable person, Colossus of Sardia.
I don't know if reasonable's the right word.
Well,
for that
when it
one.
comes to Blightsteel Colossus, almost anything else is in fact more reasonable. So
Don't
obviously
forget any of your moxes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and all your mana rocks, you have double mana rocks. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep.
If you're running Fountain of Youth, you can gain 2 life this turn.
I mean, pretty obviously her deck is going to be the artifacts deck. That doesn't take a genius to figure out.
Yes, thank you, John Madden.
You know what's really scary about that one? Arc bounds.
I don't know if that's really scary.
Does modular trigger when they leave the battlefield or when they die?
I think it's dies.
Well, that's cool. In any deck where you're getting an assload of free artifacts, you've got sacrifice outlets. Let's be real.
And I mean, her not even worrying about the limit break, her +1 protects herself. I mean, that's like one of the gold standards for planeswalkers. Can this get in the way? Yes? Good. Does it lose loyalty to do it? No? Even better.
Oh, God. Wolfie Harvell in the chat said double Etherflux Reservoir because comedy? Comedy!
That is funny.
I'm laughing on the inside. Okay.
All right. So hey Dirk, you wanna read Estrid?
So Estrid the Masked. So for one, I'm trying to remember, one
Man.
generic mana, right? I first at some point I will finally figure out and get that right. So one generic mana.
It's okay to say one.
Yeah. For one green, a white, and a blue, legendary planeswalker with 3 loyalty. It's mythic. Has a +2 ability for the first one. And it says untap each enchanted permanent you control.
Permanent.
Permanent you control. Next one is a -1. Create a white aura enchantment token named Mask attached to another target permanent. The token has enchanted permanent and totem armor.
Which we'll get to what that means in a minute.
All right. And the limit break is a -7. Put the top 7 cards of your library into the graveyard. Return all non-aura enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then do the same for aura cards. And Estrid the Mask can be your commander, is the additional bit.
So, not difficult to say. Again, her shtick is enchantments, and she's in Bant colors, which are some of the colors that are strongest for enchantment matters.
Yeah.
White and green both have enchantresses that draw you cards or get stronger with enchantments, and then blue, is generally good with those sorts of things as well, though maybe not as strongly as the first two, but gives you a little more tricks. So first ability, okay, if you've got like a wild growth or something on your land or a fertile ground, that's going to untap. That's pretty cool. And it also gives your enchanted creatures pseudo vigilance.
Not to mention your enchanted lands.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nerd Soda mentioned getting some enchantments on some lands and putting a mask on the Chain Veil and going infinite. That's something I was thinking about earlier today. I'm like, did they really make it that easy? Maybe not, quote unquote easy.
And then that second ability, hey, you don't have any enchantments to play right now? Sure you do. Here's an enchantment. So Mike, what is the definition of totem armor?
So totem armor is a special ability that shows up on auras. And it says the next time that the enchanted permanent would be destroyed, destroy this aura instead.
Nice.
It's just a static ability that just kind of sits there and waits to protect the permanent when it's time.
For Hearthstone fans, it's basically Divine Shield.
Sort of.
Kind of, sort of. What if you have 2 masks on a permanent? Do they both go away?
Which one?
Yeah,
No?
You choose which one. Because
Nice.
when one totem armor ability replaces the destroy event with, it doesn't get destroyed, that means there's nothing for the other totem armor ability to apply to.
Nice. Okay.
So it just sits and waits for the next one.
So I like the fact that, and it's this is just a -1, so it's you get a mask, you get a mask, you get a mask.
Oh yeah, Wolfie Harvell reminded us that it also removes marked damage.
Oh, cool. Well, that would make sense then, because otherwise it would just keep getting destroyed from
Yes, lightning bolt. Save me, totem armor. Now I die. No. Yeah. It removes the damage, right? That's important.
And then that last ability is a self-mill, Mike, and a replenish. But you want the self-mill because it's
self-mill into what?
Replenish?
Thank you.
Refurbish?
Replenish.
Replenish.
I just heard the extra letter in there, and I'm like, really? Look, I'm easily amused, and I'm a jerk. Okay, shut up. Whatever he said. So yeah, Estrid's pretty cool.
Yep.
Hey, and a planeswalker. Didn't I say that when we were looking at the art that first time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you did.
Yeah, I'm good. I did not say that about I mean, not to, but hers is not formatted like normal Planeswalker art, so I don't feel so bad about missing it.
No, it's not, and it's creepy.
Yeah.
So, as the oldest school player of us, hey, Mike.
All right.
You got Windgrace?
Yes, Lord Windgrace. For 2, a black, a red, and a green. A Jund Planeswalker that starts on 5 loyalty. All right. Has a +2 ability. Discard a card, then draw a card. If a land card is discarded this way, draw an additional card. I would play a magic card with just this ability printed on it.
I mean, that's draw 2 in Gunpowder. Just, okay. For 2 loyalty, for +2 loyalty, draw 2 cards. Jace is like, what?
Yeah. So, next ability, -3. Return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Ding!
Yeah, they don't come in tapped either, so that's fun. And then finally, well, not finally he can be your commander, but next to finally, -11, spoilers, -11, destroy up to 6 target non-land permanents, then create a 6/2/2 green cat warrior creature tokens. So what? I feel like extra incorrect words fell out of my mouth.
They did,
You
yeah.
said A.
Create a 6/2/2.
6/2/2.
Destroy up to 6
What
target
is
non-land
science done?
permanents.
Yeah.
Then create 6/2/2 green cat warrior creature tokens with Forest Walk.
And see, what's really funny is so you're basically turning those things into cats, right? So if you want to get
Yes,
a
and
little...
I think that's why I actually started to say, then create a 2/2 cat warrior creature token for each thing destroyed. But that's not what it says.
No.
You always get 6.
And
Even if
actually,
it's indestructible or anything like that, yeah.
it actually makes the card Cat Warriors.
Because they have Forest Walk?
They're 2/2s with Forest Walk called Cat Warriors, and their creature type is Cat Warrior.
Now, see, what I was going to say is, and this might get a little gruesome for some people, but kind of like thinking about where the cats come from, picturing these little cat warriors coming like alien chest burster out of whatever you're destroying. Just like, meow! It's adorable and terrifying at the same time.
Let's see. So non-land permanents. All right. So I'm gonna kill your Jace, and Jace, bruh, a cat pops out of his chest and goes,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna blow up your Bone Crank Icy Manipulator, and the Icy Manipulator explodes, and there's a cat sitting there giving itself a bath.
Yeah. Which, knowing my cats, they destroy things all the time. I could see this happening.
Mike is playing Thing from the Ice. I'm gonna blow that up, and the ice bursts, and there's a cat like, wow.
They're
like
in the
it.
ventilation system.
See, the way I originally thought was, sort of like you pull up a cardboard box and there's a cat underneath it. So, I'm going to destroy this cardboard box. Oh, look, a cat. That is now mine.
Pretty much.
So with the new rules is that if you destroy somebody else's, they get control of these cats, right?
Well, no.
No. You get the cats.
You blow up all their stuff, and you get all the cats.
Yeah.
Okay.
The new rule only changes who technically owns the tokens. It doesn't change anything else.
Right.
Okay.
But they're still yours to command.
Yeah. Oh, you're probably thinking of something like Beast Within.
Yeah.
Where it's blow that up and they get a beast. But no. This is blow those up and I get cats because it's a minus freaking 11.
This is sorry I burned down your village. I've got a kitty cat.
Yeah.
You can come pet her. Meow. So the reason I said I was like, ooh, Mike, because I'm like, okay, this is in Jund colors, which, Mike plays all kinds of colors, but, he's partial to some of these. And B, it cares about lands. And Mike likes drawing cards, caring about lands. I know that you play more decks than just your Loam from Within deck, but that is a very Mike deck. So...
Did you just say Loam from Within?
See, I mixed up Life from the Loam and Beast Within, didn't I? Because I still had that in mind.
So,
Life
well,
from the
actually,
Loam, Life from
at
the
the same
Loam
time.
Seismic Assault deck, which is literally 2 of these 3 colors.
So, hey, Mike.
Yes.
You've been around longer than the rest of us. Who is Lord Windgrace?
All right. Lord Windgrace is a panther man who's native to Urborg. He's a planeswalker from way back in the day. He was one of the titans that Urza got together to fight against the Phyrexians during the invasion. And then something, I don't remember how he figured into the time spiral story, but I assume he did somehow.
He did.
Yeah, he closed the rift that was over Urborg, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
But before he did, he kind of like pushed his hands into the ground and sent some of his essence into Urborg because he knew from Freyle's sacrifice that he may not survive mending the time rift. So he made sure that some of his essence would live on in Urborg forever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just read that recently. Kind of like what Sarah did in Circe and Benalia. Some of her presence is still there too.
Yep.
Huh.
So these abilities are neat because, as we've already said, that's a draw 2. Not every time, but enough. It's a draw 2 on that first ability with a +2 loyalty. That's
well, you net 1. Since
you
get
net
this
1.
Card, but
True.
Yeah.
Okay, but even still, even if it was just rummage, discard 1, draw 1 for +2, that's not terrible. That's not terrible. The fact that you can go up 1 is very good. Notice that all of these do not have a ton of starting loyalty. He comes in at 5. Estrid comes in at 3. Saheeli comes in at 4. And Animatu comes in at 3. I think probably because these are meant to be planeswalkers, the thought is, hey, let's make sure that opponents are able to deal with them because you can turn around and replay them if you need to.
Yeah.
The fact that he comes in at the highest, also at the highest cost, is not insignificant. So,
yeah, I mean, he essentially comes in at 7. So, phew.
Yeah. I do also like the fact that that second ability returns those cards to the land cards to the battlefield. None of that to your hand nonsense.
Huh. Chat just pointed out, Nerd Soda actually, the green ones are all at a point where they cannot be doubling seasoned to ult right away. That is a good point.
Probably a good idea. There's a lot of blue here.
But wait. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. You have to ult next turn. Okay, yeah. Duh. I'm like, yeah, you do. They come in with double, then you +2, then you limit break. That's next turn, stupid. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
Also, another explanation for Lord Windgrace is a kitty walks up and just pushes whatever the card is off the table. The chat has been having fun with.
I believe they have. That's cool.
Is that a soul ring? Pat. No. Screw these 6 cards in particular.
So, now that we have done that, how do we want to approach this? Do you want to continue to look at the multicolored cards? Do you want to hit lands, monocolored cards?
Okay, first things first. Dirk has to tell us about Erixmathes. Erixmathes? Mike? Erixmathes?
Erixmathes? I don't know.
Erixmathes?
Erixmathes.
I don't. That's why I went Mike, because I don't know.
Where is it?
It's multicolored.
2 over from my card.
Okay.
Yeah, Dirk, read this card and try not to die.
Oh, that art is amazing.
It gets better.
Okay.
All right. Erixmathes, Slumbering Isle. For 2, a green and a blue. It's a 12/12 legendary creature Kraken that is rare. Erixmathes, Slumbering Isle enters the battlefield tapped with 5 slumber counters on it. As long as Erixmathes has a slumber counter on it, it's a land. It's not a creature, is what it says in parentheses. It's like, it's not a creature. It's not a 12/12. It's a land. Okay. And it says, Whenever you cast a spell, you may remove a slumber counter from Aramethix.
All right.
Mythos. All right, and it also says tap, add green blue.
I love it.
So,
I love that it's actually a sleeping island. That's
yeah. Is
this
that
is
not
a
insane?
really cool design.
Like this, when I saw this, I was like, "That's it. Magic's done. They can't get any better."
But that art,
I know,
though,
it's brilliant.
that art is great.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you may remove a slumber counter.
So if you really need the land,
yeah, if you need a thing that taps for green blue more than you need a 12/12, which we've all been there.
Yeah.
it happens.
He always has that ability.
Well, that's true, but then someone could go, kill it. So
Yes.
This
a lot
this
easier.
this makes it a lot more resilient
Mhm.
to point removal. Yes. Nice.
So
JD Phoenix is disappointed that the creature type is an island fish.
Hmm.
Yeah, the problem with that is that you can't have subtypes from one card type on a card from a completely different type if it doesn't actually have it. Like he would actually have to be a land in order to have the island type.
yeah.
A land all the time, that is.
But yeah, I do love that the reminder text is like, it's not a creature. It's a land in addition to its other. No.
Mm.
So it's not like a man land where what's the like Treetop Village?
Yeah.
Because when Treetop
Yes.
Village becomes a creature, it's still a land, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
This is just a land, baby, not a man.
I bet the rules are a trip for this thing showing up, paying mana, and then getting a land into play. But I'm sure they did enough mental arithmetic to make it work. Nin Justin just pointed out Thespian Stage is a clone. Does that work?
Yes, it does.
Can you drop a Thespian Stage and get a 12/12?
Yes.
Oh
Oh.
That's funny.
my god!
What is it? Vesuva?
or
That's-
Vesuva, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, Vesuva, with the way that works, it'll actually enter with slumber counters.
Oh right, because Vesuva is different.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's actually but the thespian stage is just you're gonna go and copy it, and it doesn't, because it didn't come in with the counters. Ooh, yeah, nice.
Search.
Sweet.
So Vesuva says you may have Vesuva enter the battlefield tapped as a copy of any land on the battlefield,
Yeah.
but it's
Which
because it enters as it'll have the counters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Thespian Stage says
It
activated
starts on the
ability
battlefield.
becomes a copy of target land.
Mhm.
Gotcha. In case anyone at home is wondering, why doesn't it work? Because one is an ability that while it's already on the battlefield, the other one is a clone, essentially. It enters as. Which means it'll have the as this enters the battlefield things to go with it. Huh. Neat.
Cool.
Jars asked, how different would it have been if it had been a land creature island fish? Well, for one, that means it would also have another ability, tap, add blue to your mana pool. And then its ability for, if it still has slumber counters on it, would have to be reworded to be clear that it's a non-creature. Oh yeah, and JD Phoenix points out another thing. Yeah, you couldn't put a mana cost on it because that would be bizarre. You wouldn't be able to cast it because it's a land.
Yeah,
I did not think of that till he said it.
Ugh, this is gonna make my head hurt.
exactly. But it's so awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Glad it works this way.
Yeah, yeah. Like flavor, power, all of that. This is so sick.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Chad agrees. Like everyone that I've seen bring up this card at all has been gushing over it everywhere, even on Twitter where everyone hates everything. So
Because it's great. It's a brilliant design and it's really fun and cool.
yeah. Screw you, Jesconius. Loser.
Aw.
I mean, he really is a loser, though.
He is. He tried.
Did he, though? All right, let's keep moving.
All right, how about, while we're here, let's knock out some of these other commanders, because I don't think we're going to get into every card on this episode.
No, but we can do a lot. I mean, we can do a lot of the new stuff and a lot of the new stuff in, like, multicolor and go from there, so.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Brutaclad, because Brutaclad Telcor Engineer is so cool. So
Is it a mirror?
It's sorta.
Looks mere like.
So Brutaclad Telcor Engineer for 4, a blue and a red, is a legendary artifact creature, Artificer. Oh no, the machines are making themselves. Brutaclad is a 4/4, and he says creature tokens you control have haste. That's important. Everybody remember that.
Okay.
Now, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue mirror artifact creature token. Okay? You remember 2/1 blue mirror artifact creatures?
Yep. Like Sarcomite mirror?
That's the one. That's also where the only place Brutaclad was ever mentioned before, in the flavor text on Sarcomite mirror.
Really?
Yeah, Kelly Diggs released this on Twitter with a whole big thing about how.
Nice.
So, the beginning of combat on your turn, you get a 2/1 mirror, okay?
Which is going to have haste.
Then, you may choose a token you control. What the hell was that? Oh, I still have the stream alerts. Oh, Cap is raiding. Thanks. Welcome, raiders. We're talking about Magic the Gathering. Now, okay. Beginning of combat, you get a 2/1. Then you may choose a token you control, okay? If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token.
Buh.
And they all have haste.
I only have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that godforsaken Wormcoil engine in this deck? Because if it is, I'm going to concede now. I don't know. We're not even playing for a couple of weeks. I'm just conceding now. Because, hey, yes, I'll just make all of mine 3/3s with Death Touch. Or Lifelink, but, you know. And that's, like, not even close to the worst thing you can think of. So you're always going to get a 2/1. So if nothing else, you get a free 2/1. But then if you've got another token around that you want to turn all your other tokens into, and that 2/1 token doesn't go away at end of turn. So you can just keep accumulating.
And people in the chat are pointing out that the copy effect doesn't end at the end of the turn either.
It doesn't.
It doesn't?
No.
What on earth?
So, like, the first thing that I thought of when I saw this was, dear God, they just printed a lot of ways to make dragon tokens.
They did. And this is in red.
Yeah, and of course, people are talking about the 10/10 Eldrazi twin token or Merit Lodge because you're all bastards. But
Merit Lodge is legendary, so...
Oh, right. That's important. So feel free to target your Merit Lodge. Do it. Do it, loser.
But the 10/10 Eldrazi token, yeah, that's...
Yeah, and it has Annihilator, so maybe don't do that if you're playing with friends, because then you might not have friends. But but yeah, this card is nuts, and I love it.
This card is insane.
And I love it. All right, next.
This looks... I have not read this, but this card looks cool. It's Gyrus.
Wasn't Gyrus an old Nintendo game, like a shooter? I think it was, except it had 2 S's, so never mind.
Gyrus, Waker of Corpses. It's got an X and John colors black, red, green.
Oh, sorry, it's the Hydra that's just poking a zombie going, hey, get up!
Okay, this is pretty sick looking art. It's a 0/0, so I'm assuming it's going to come in with X counters on it. It's a legendary Hydra. It's going to enter the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. That's not X. That is X +3. Because
also, if you're using this as a commander, it's X +3 plus the commander
plus
tax.
whatever, yeah. But I mean, just even the first time, even if X is 0, and they're like, haha, it died. No, it's a 3/3. That's important. That already makes it bigger than most other Hydras. And whenever it attacks, you may exile target creature card with lesser power from your grave. I guess lesser than it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you do from your graveyard, if you do create a token that's a copy of that card and that's exiled, that's tapped. There's a lot of words here. If you do create a token that's a copy of that card and that's tapped and attacking, exile the token at end of combat. Okay, so you're basically digging something up and having it attack for a turn, and then it goes away. Which is why it's the Waker of Corpses. Oh, nice. All right, so first of all, this thing has the potential to get huge. Huge. 5 mana, you've got a 5/5. I like that. And the bigger it is, the bigger the stuff that it can bring back is. Yeah. I think I like this. I think I like it.
That's because it's awesome.
That is because it's awesome.
Plus, I'm still all for a Hydra just walking up and poking a dead body going, "Oi! We're going!" All right, then. Well, the next one is the enchantment creature that we talked about. Hey, Dirk, you should like this.
So Kestia the Cultivator.
Kestia.
Well, we were wrong. We thought it was a god. It's not. So for one,
I don't know about we thought it was a god. I was not saying that.
It's clearly from Nyx, though. It's clearly,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Kestia the Cultivator for 1 green, white, blue. Legendary enchantment creature, and it's a nymph.
Check out that tiny little font there.
Yeah. It is a 4/4 with Bestow for 3 green, white, blue. Do we want me to read the reminder text?
Might as well.
Yeah, sure.
Right. If you cast this card for its Bestow cost, it's an aura spell with enchant creature. It becomes a creature again if it's not attached to a creature.
Okay.
So it's it becomes a creature.
We'll get back to that in a second.
All right. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4. And says also, whenever an enchanted creature or enchantment creature you control attacks, draw a card.
I swear they worded this card in such a way just to trip Dirk up.
Yeah. Whenever an enchanted creature or enchantment creature you control attacks, draw a card.
Right.
Yeah,
so basically, when you have a creature with Bestow, and this was back from Journey into Nyx, or Born of the Gods, one of those. It
started in Theros.
Really? Okay. You have 2 options. You can either cast it for its normal casting cost from your hand. It comes in as a creature. It doesn't do anything specific that way. If you cast it for its Bestow cost, you have to target the type of the appropriate permanent. I think they're all enchant creature, correct?
They are.
So you have to enchant a creature. And if you do that, then I think all the Bestow creatures, basically you take their stats, and then that's what they give the enchanted creature. So here it's a 4/4, so the enchanted creature gets +4/+4. And then because it's on the battlefield, its second ability, that static ability, is on the battlefield. So then if you attack with that enchanted creature, you draw a card. If Kestia is on the battlefield as a creature herself, she's an enchantment creature, so she will again draw you a card. Now, what's interesting and what I want to bring up here is that a specific loophole that they made for bestow creatures, I think because they wanted people to play with bestow.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, what happens when I have a creature and I target it with Holy Strength, and you go no, and you cast Doomblade at my creature? What happens to that Holy Strength?
The Holy Strength ends up getting countered because its target is gone.
Right. Now I have a creature and I target it with Castilla, whatever, with her bestow ability, and you Doomblade it. What happens?
Then the Castilla Aura spell switches over to a creature spell, and it resolves that way instead.
Yes. That is weird, but I think it's mostly because they didn't want people having lots of feel bad moments.
Yeah. You want bestow to be worthwhile.
Yeah.
Something whenever an enchanted creature. So that means all of your creatures that are enchanted, when they attack, you can draw a card.
Yeah, including whoever you bestowed Kestia on.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, but I think Dirk's point is this is in the enchantment deck.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So whether she is an enchantment or just a creature on the battlefield, if you attack with, if you have any enchantments at all or whatever, you're going to be drawing a lot of cards.
Yes, and it's not May. So.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Mike, you know a lot about Magic's history.
Okay.
Who is Taunos? Taunos.
He's a guy in the coffin, or with a coffin. Or,
No, he had a candelabra, right?
And
What?
a coffin.
And a wand.
Yes, and a wand, that's right.
And okay, hang on.
And a body.
Gatherer. He had, hang on, good name. Shut up. Taunos. Search. Here we go. Candelabra, coffin, wand. Oh, and weaponry.
Oh, yeah, Thomas Weaponry, that's right.
What a terrible card. Precursor to equipment. Mm-hmm. Okay, anyway.
Yes, so Taunos, kind of spoil the name a little bit, was one of Urza's apprentices in
What?
his in his shop with all his students, making machines and inventions and magical artifacts and whatnot. And Taunos was very, very talented. And you can see that here on the card. Taunos, Urza's apprentice, just costs a blue and a red for a 1/3 human artificer with haste. And has an activated ability. A blue and a red, tap. Copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an artifact source. You may choose new targets for the copy.
It's pretty cool.
Activated or triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Clad. Let's just do that again.
Wait. All that
Really,
would do
that
would
would just
be...
give you another.
Yeah, just give you another
Just give you
token.
another mayor.
But that's
Yeah.
still something.
Yeah.
And again, not even the worst thing we could come up with. I'm sure chat probably has much worse things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because chat is apparently inhabited by a bunch of bastards. They're like, this is absolutely the worst thing possible to do. Let's type it out.
Good job, guys.
See, Lamp Rouge, copy Strionic Resonator on your Riku abilities. You are a monster.
Science done. Spine of Ishsa. Ah! Ugh. Ugh. Ah.
You have broken him.
You could
Yeah.
use it on Taunos' weaponry and give a single creature +2/+2, or give two
Ooh.
different creatures +1/+1.
Oh my god. Anyway.
All right. Hey,
But
Chewie.
the fact that Taunos has haste
Mm-hmm.
makes him really kind of stupid.
It's really useful.
Because
Very
that means
good.
for 4 mana, you get this copy out of nowhere. Oh, and we just lost Dirk.
Does that mean the overlay broke?
Yeah, that means the overlay broke, but hopefully he'll be back.
Oh no. What was that about? Oh yeah. The fact that he has haste makes him much, 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 much more viable late game. when you're like, draw this guy, and gee, he would be great if only I could, I don't know, use him.
Hey, Dirk's back.
Hey, Dirk is back.
What just happened? Did the world end?
Yeah, a little bit.
You missed it, man. The end of the world, and Chewie wasn't even here. Wait, I mean Dirk. I always get these guys confused.
Okay, so we good?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the next thing?
So
it's a giant spider. That looks like Chewie.
Yeah, I guess I'll read the giant spider because it's me. Thantis, the War Weaver. This was the terrifying spider art that we saw originally that I said, hey, that thing is literally Jund colored. I bet it's in the Jund deck. And hey, look, it's Jund colored. Thantis the War Weaver, for 3, a black, a red, and a green, is a legendary spider because, Nightmare Fuel isn't enough. It's a 5/5 with vigilance and reach. All creatures attack each combat if able. So Mike is already going really.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
And this is nuts. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, put a +1/+1 counter on Thantis the War Weaver.
Ooh. That's going to trigger for every single creature, isn't it?
This is whenever a creature attacks.
Yeah, not like whenever one or more. So.
Yeah, so if you attack me with 3 things, then Thantis goes whoop, 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 and gets bigger by 3, right?
That was a cool sound.
Okay. Did you like that?
I did.
She spins a web few can resist. Its sweet aroma sparks chaos in every heart. So her web is made of goody gumdrops.
Daddy, I want candy from the giant spider thing. Okay, just bring some home for your mother.
So yeah, it's not terribly complicated, but it's terrifying both art-wise and card-wise.
Yeah.
Everybody has to attack all the time, including me, but my Thantis has vigilance, so I don't really care. And also, because everyone else always has to attack, lots of their stuff is tapped, so my giant spider might be able to get through unless you played something last turn or you have something with vigilance.
And since it has reach, you're not just sneaking through with flyers.
Yeah. So, but my favorite part is you don't have to attack me. Why would you attack me?
You're just going to feed the spider.
Yeah, you're just going to feed the spider. Maybe you should attack Dirk with his stupid face and his giant army of elves, huh?
I like to attack Dirk. Attacking Dirk sounds like a good plan.
These are not the elves you're looking for.
Oh, God.
In this case, it looks like Merfolk.
Derp Attack Go in the chat said Thantis plus Avatar of Slaughter. Oh, God. Which one's Avatar of Slaughter?
That's the one, it has the everyone has to attack all the time, and everyone has double strike.
Ah!
Oh.
I think it's everyone. No, I'm messing that up. I messed that up already. Avatar of Slaughter. Okay, no, I was right. All creatures have double strike and attack each combat if able.
Hey, for anyone new joining us, I also made this overlay. Okay. Sorry, I had to divert my brain away from that before it exploded. So, Merfolk Dirk, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, of course Dirk gets to read this one. Look at it.
All right. Tuvasa, the Sunlit. For green, white, blue, it's a 1/1 legendary creature, Merfolk Shaman. It's mythic. Tuvasa, the Sunlit, gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. All right, no problem. I'll meet your Thantis the War Weaver. Not a problem, bro. Also has, whenever you cast your first enchantment spell each turn, draw a card. And its flavor text says, "My people have always been here, and here we shall remain."
Fine then. You just have your old stupid place. We'll just go somewhere else with our giant spider.
She's one of the river heralds from Ixalan.
Yeah.
So there's probably dinosaurs there too.
Yeah, if you look carefully, you can see Colossal Dreadmaw in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Although if you look carefully, I think you see Colossal Dreadmaw in the background of every card.
Is it getting reprinted again? It should be reprinted again.
Probably. So our last, in the card image gallery here, our last legendary creature is a very Brian card.
Which one is that?
The Xantia?
Is it Zan? Oh, cool. I didn't know if we were doing the next one or not. Like the one after.
Do the creatures first.
Okay. Wow. If this is Xantia's sleeper agent, if this is the one from Urza's Saga, this creature is incredibly important to Magic's history and Magic's story. So Xantia, sleeper agent, for 1, a black and a red. She's a 5/5 for 3. She's a legendary minion. As she enters the battlefield, an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Well, I guess technically, as a sleeper agent, she doesn't. Xantia is not a he or a she. I don't think. It's from Phyrexia. They are from Phyrexia. Xantia attacks each combat if able, and can't attack its owner or planeswalkers its owner controls. Oh, that's delicious. Okay, and then pay 3 generic. Xantia's controller loses 2 life. Controller, not owner, controller loses 2 life, and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's the perfect sleeper agent. Oh, so I'm gonna play this for 3. Hey, you get a 5/5, and you can use it to punch anyone but me. And if you guys don't like being punched, why don't you go ahead and pay 3, and she'll hit him a little bit, and you'll get to draw a card. But no matter what, she can't punch me. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Thank you, Chewy. It's just what I always wanted. It's politics. It's politics on a giant beefy creature. I'm gonna be so sad when someone's like, "No, I'll kill it." But really, who's gonna kill it? The controller of a free 5/5 they literally paid nothing for, or the people that are using it to draw cards? Story-wise, Urza, pre-mending Urza, so like at the height of his power, if not his understanding of how things work, says, "Hey, Phyrexia messed up my brother. I'm going to go kick them in the what for?" And he's hunting down Phyrexian agents as they're popping up in worlds, and he comes across Xantia, and at first he thinks that this is someone that's being victimized by the Phyrexians, and then he realizes later, wait, this is a sleeper agent. But by the time he's done that, he's able to get Xantia on his side, and he actually goes and when he attacks Phyrexia, he brings Xantia with him, and Xantia goes and gets their heart, because the Phyrexian hearts are kept on Phyrexia as a way, I guess, of controlling them. And later, their heart is placed into Karn, which helps create Karn and give Karn Karn's full sense of self and, basically AI. And as we found out much, much, much later, is also apparently the source of Phyrexian oil. And damn, was that a retcon. So, but anyway, so Xantia's pretty darn important. And that is a freaking cool card. So awesome. Thank you, Chewy.
It's pretty sick. So, wasn't there another one? Weren't there more today?
Bruna.
Well, no, she's old.
No.
As far
Yeah,
as
this is where the
things that-
reprints start. Bruna and Finest Hour.
I only looked at the Planeswalker today. I'm sure there were other previews today.
Yeah, here we go. Ah, crap. Hey, Stark, you're a mod. Are you still here? Are you able to give me some links? I don't know where in the hell to find them. Because links are disabled in chat. So, anyone who's like, here it is, I want to see the ninja. We need to give these guys the ninja, because I'm almost certain none of them have seen the ninja. And the ninja is insane.
There's a ninja?
See?
Go ninja, go ninja, go ninja, go.
Oh, Cap's here. The damn ninja. I can't remember its name. Yuriko. There we go.
Feel like I've heard that
Images.
name before.
Okay, here. Copy image location. Here you go, nerds. I mean, dorks. Somebody
What the
read
heck?
that.
What the? Does that say what I think it says?
Yup.
Hey, Dirk, why don't you read this since we're all just kind of like, what?
Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow. For 1, a blue and a black. It is a legendary creature, human ninja that's rare. It is a 1/3 and has Commander Ninjutsu
Commander Ninjutsu?
for a blue and a black. So, for a blue and a black, return an unblocked creature you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand or the command zone, tapped and attacking.
So we can jump
Oh my
out
gosh, it's
from
not
the
like you didn't see this one coming.
No, but
Holy
Still.
moly.
it's a little more obvious than from hand, but you can do it with any of your unblocked creatures. So
So, it says, whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to the card's converted mana cost.
so this is gonna go in the Aminatu deck, the deck manipulation deck, because you're gonna be like, hey, look, here's something that costs 9. You know,
Also, because it has Commander Ninjutsu, does that mean that in order to play this ninjutsu it out, if it's in the command zone, if it's died, you have to pay the penalty?
Nope.
no,
Is
because
that
it's
written
just
I wanted to know that.
it's an activated ability. So
Oh my
you
god.
think about
so
like
it should work like the
the bird guy.
bird. Yeah.
I
Starts with a
I
T.
have that deck.
Yeah, I can see him.
Yeah,
Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
yeah. I mean, that the commander tax is to cast the spell. So
Yeah. Derevi.
the only thing I don't like about Yuriko is that she will, if she's your commander, she's limiting you to those 2 colors instead of, and so if you're modifying the deck she comes in, you have to take out the white. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because ninjas are only in blue and black. If there's any red ones or anything, then that's kind of news to me. But yeah.
I'm just shaking my head right now.
But that's cool. A Commander Ninjutsu. For
I
a
mean,
second,
that's- Go ahead.
or ninjutsu. I can't pronounce it correctly. But
Ninja
the funny-
juice.
The first, when I'm reading it at first, for some reason, my first thought is, oh, it can only bounce my commander. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not how that works. So
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can see her coming and that you can keep replaying her is probably why she's a 1/3.
right, but it's
Yeah.
still really neat.
Oh, it's
very
awesome.
neat. So we've only been over some of the multicolored stuff. There's some other interesting stuff here I saw just from glancing around.
Okay, wait a minute. Hang on. There were.
Lamp asked a question how this work with miracle cards. Miracle only triggers when you draw the card as your first card of the turn, so this doesn't really do anything for miracles since you're not drawing the card.
You can kind of like see it coming, I guess, but it won't actually interact directly with it. So
hey, you guys.
Hey.
Here's another one.
Okay.
This one is totally Brian. Brian, you ready?
I'm ready. All right, what do we got here? This is Enchant Cryptic Sovereign. Costs 2 generic and looks like an Esper, a white, a blue, and black. It's a legendary Sphinx. It's mythic. It's a 3/5 with flying, vigilance, and menace. And it does look a little menacing. Look at that art. It's kind of glowering a little bit. Whenever Enchant Cryptic Sovereign attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If that card's converted mana cost is odd, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Otherwise, draw a card. Wow, that's weird. No wonder you said it's me. And not to mention, it really rewards you for setting up your deck a particular way. Hey, its cost is odd. That's probably not a coincidence.
Also, her title has an odd number of words, or her name. Each word has an odd number of letters. And the same for her flavor text.
And her stats are both odd?
Mana cost is odd.
Yeah. She talks using riddles her disciples alone can unravel. Wow, this is a giant, big old kind of puzzle type thing. But okay, so it's when
her collector number's odd too.
It's when it's when she attacks, which means she doesn't even necessarily have to deal combat damage. But she has flying and vigilance and menace.
She has an odd number of keywords too.
Okay, yes, but actually looking at what she does, that's really cool. She's going to get through a lot. And that, assuming you're going to hit lands a good portion of the time, okay, that's lands don't have a cost. You're always going to at least draw a card. And then that card may just turn out to be free. Free. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Man. Okay. I'm digging this. I'm digging this set, and this deck in particular feels very Brian, but the products feel really cool. I'm going to talk.
There's one more.
Okay.
That someone put in the chat. Oh yeah. Copy. No. Copy image address. Since we're doing all of the multicolored legends.
Gosh, that's a rough composite.
Yeah, it's pretty crappy, but I think the card has been seen other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me double check that. Varina's real, right, guys? Because this art, like this composite, really is dildos. Is anybody else looking at chat? Yes. Okay. Well, of all the people that I trust, it's Nerd Soda. So.
Oh, 10th Tech Priest says it comes from a German source, so that's why it's all jacked up.
Which is weird because they should have shown this yesterday, so she should be in the card image gallery, right? Wasn't yesterday the Esper deck, or was that today?
No, today's the
Esper. It's today. Deck. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So go for it.
All right, so Varina, Lich Queen. For 1, white, blue, black is a 4/4 legendary zombie wizard. Whenever you attack with one or more zombies, draw that many cards, then discard that many cards, you gain that much life.
Wait,
pretty
what's
cool.
that many? Oh, number of zombies. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And an activated ability, pay 2 and exile 2 cards from your graveyard. Create a 2 cards. Oh, any cards, not just creature cards. Awesome. Exile 2 cards from your graveyard. Create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token.
It creates a diagraph pool.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, loving this Esper deck.
So Brian has been trying to talk about another thing for a while now. What is it, Brian?
I saw this a while ago and I was like, yes, this is coveted jewel. And you want to talk about a little bit of politics here. Although this is less politics and more just like gimme. For 6 mana, it's an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 3 cards. And then you can tap it to add 3 mana of any one color. It's a Gilded Lotus on steroids. Whenever one or more creatures an opponent controls attack you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of coveted jewel. Untap it. Gimme. I love it.
That is pretty cool.
It reminds me of what's the Exalted Land?
Yeah.
it-
Yeah.
No, not Exalted. It's the battle cry.
Contested Warzone.
Thank you. What's that? What's that keyword that I'm trying to think of?
Battle cry.
Battle cry.
It doesn't have that printed on it, but that's basically what it does.
Right. Okay. But so yeah, I love that. And even if somebody else is going to steal this, immediately you're going to pay 6, you're going to get 3 mana back, and you're going to draw 3 cards. If someone else steals it, good for them. But yeah, I like it.
If you have a way to steal it back, you can draw even more cards.
You can. Like, I don't know, with your unblockable guys or flying guys, because you don't have to actually hit the opponent. You just have to get a guy through unblocked, which is usually going to result in damage. But okay, so what's something else that what is something that someone else saw that made them go, ooh? Anybody? I've looked at less of these than probably anyone else. So
All right. Well, while everyone else is thinking, how about Treasure Nabber in red?
okay,
All right.
Treasure Nabber for 2 and a red is a 3/2 Goblin Rogue. Whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, gain control of that artifact until the end of your next turn.
are you serious?
And he's holding a soul ring and grinning.
He's just for free. What?
And the flavor text is quite possibly the best thing ever. The law of Gibbsies Backsies is respected by every noble pursuer of shiny things.
There's too much stuff going on here. I'm like, this is crazy. Oh, but do you know how many artifacts tap for mana? Like, all of them. Not actually all of them, but oh, geez, man. Just wow. Let me tap my Gilded Lotus. Mine now. Let me tap my Coveted Jewel, my Soul Ring, my is it Clue Stone, or what are the better Clue Stones? The original ones, the
Signets.
Signets. Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because a signet produces mana. All the things. And yes, the flavor text is awesome, but wow, this seems nuts.
It just makes me happy that he's just holding a soul ring.
This is mine. I'll give it back, but this is mine.
This is mine now. All right, so one of you other two, what you got?
Well, mine, unfortunately, that I was looking at and was like, ooh, apparently it's a reprint.
Which one?
Skewt Mob.
Yeah, Cute Mob is very old.
Dude, I
From
play that in
original
every
card.
deck I get a chance to.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it and go,
It's still
Huh.
cool.
so for one green, for a green, it's a 1/1 insect that's rare. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 5 or more lands, put 4 +1/+1 counters on Scoot Mob.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's a survival rule. 781. There are always more Scoot bugs.
Let's see. Mike, what you got?
This Crash of Rhino Beetles is very silly.
Mm-hmm. I looked at that one and thought that was kind of silly
Crash
too.
of Rhino Beetles.
Yeah.
It's green.
Is that actually what it's called?
Yes. Like I said, it's very silly.
It's Crash of Rhinos and Scoot Mob.
But I was gonna say, you know,
Pretty much.
Crash of Rhinos is a card, right?
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I see what they did there.
Crash of Rhino Beetles. For 4 and a green, 5/5 insect with trample. Crash of Rhino Beetles gets +10/+10 as long as you control 10 or more lands.
That's so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's all right. I'm just gonna go up and down. I'm gonna spin the thing a little bit and kind of stop it in a second and see what it lands on, because I really haven't seen most of these things.
Okay.
And I'm landing on red, and in the middle of it is called Nesting Dragon.
Nesting Dragon is sick.
Is it? Okay. Nesting Dragon for 3 and 2 red is a 5/4 dragon. It's rare, so I think that means it's only going to be in one deck, right? I think. I forget what that means.
I think that's
It's
what that
flying.
means, yeah.
And it's flying. And it's landfall. Ooh, I like landfall when it's not, destroying me. So landfall on things that cost 1 and 2. Boo! But this costs 5. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 0/2 red dragon egg. Oh, creature token with defender, and when this creature dies, create a 2/2 red dragon creature token with flying and fire breathing. That's a lot of words. And it's a token that makes another token.
Yeah, the tokens are double-sided.
Are they?
So one side
Cool.
is the egg, the other side is the whelp. Or dragon. It's a whelp.
Cool. I like it. I see what we're doing here. I approve. It's a dragon. Yay, Dagrons. It's maybe not like the most Johnny thing I could have landed on, but it's where my random scrolling up and down left me. So, hey.
It's pretty sweet.
That is a weird card.
10th tech said, so Nesting Dragon is just Onyxia, right? Ha!
Basically.
But like the raid Onyxia, where there's just eggs everywhere. And if you're not
dare
careful,
challenge the daughter of something.
Deathwing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm just
Or a Natharian.
So
Reality Scramble.
reality scramble.
Then card next to Nesting Dragon.
all right, what's that do, Dirk?
For 2 and 2 red, it's a rare sorcery. Put target permanent you own on the bottom of your library. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card that shares a card type with that permanent. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, and it has retrace on it.
Oh, so it's like a kind of polymorph.
It's like a
variant
polymorph.
with retrace. Is that a dog? That looks like a dog.
And an
Good
orangutan.
The orangutan is not having any of this. He's just looking
There
at
is-
everybody else like,
The art is just amazing. It's an orangutan being looked at by a mob of creatures involving a dog, an anteater, a
I see an octopus
orange polka dot
tentacle.
thing
I
Yeah,
see
I
an
think that's
octopus
the
that
tentacle.
looks
octopus.
like it's
Yeah.
a simic experiment.
Is that a dinosaur there?
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
a weird, like a
There's
dinosaur wearing
dinosaur
a
in the
shirt.
back.
Like what? Maybe that's supposed to be a Viashino.
I wonder if these were researchers that somebody cast the spell and the orangutan is like, okay.
Which one of you guys screwed up?
Oh, I get it. This is a game of Magic we're looking at. And somebody just activated Aminatu's ultimate, and the orangutan's reaction is perfect. Anyway.
The art is amazing.
Yeah, the art on that is amazing. I love it.
It is. I mean, it's so serious about in its silliness that it makes me wonder if it was something left over from
Unstable.
Yeah, from Unstable.
That would not surprise me at all, because you're right. It is. That's a good way to put it. It's very serious in its silliness. Okay, Mike.
Yes.
You don't get to pick one. You have to read the thing right below Reality Scramble.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about going to this eventually. So, Varchild, Betrayer of Kildor. 2 and a red, a 3/3 legendary human knight. Whenever Varchild, Betrayer of Kildor, deals combat damage to a player, that player creates that many 1/1 red survivor creature tokens. Survivors your opponents control can't block, and they can't attack you or a planeswalker you control. When Varchild leaves the battlefield, gain control of all survivors.
Now, this is a throwback to, is it Varchild's War Riders?
Yes.
I don't even remember what that did.
It was a 3/4 for 1 and a red. Can't remember if it had trample. Probably did. No, it had Rampage 1.
Yeah,
and
it had trample and Rampage 1.
Oh, trample and Rampage 1. And cumulative upkeep of give someone else a 1/1 survivor.
Yeah. So that's where they got the survivors from. There was another Varchild's card, the Crusader. What'd that do? It's from Homeland, so it doesn't matter. You pay 0 and it can't be blocked except by walls, but then it dies.
Why was that in Homelands?
I have no idea.
It happens on a totally separate plane. Oh gosh, you guys.
Yeah, and the flavor text, every patch of land must belong to Kildor no matter what the cost. But yeah, that's straight up Homelands.
No, that's alliances. What are you looking at?
Oh, it's alliance. Oh my god, I forgot what the symbol was. I'm old, I'm stupid, I'm tired. I spent 4 hours on the damn overlays, alright? My brain is mush. Shut up. Excuse me, that's alliances, which is totally in Ice Age. We're good. We're good. It's on Dominaria. We're good.
I'm kind of glad this is only a 3/3. It's a little easier to deal with.
But yeah, Varchild is really cool. This is the art of the knight with the lion's head helmet that we saw before. Turns out it was Varchild. Well, I'll be damned. I do like that you can blink Varchild to just get a bunch of 1/1s all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
And those 1/1s can't attack you once you get them. Or before you get them.
Well, and once Varchild is not on the battlefield, they can block.
Oh, that's true, because that's on her.
Well, and technically, they also don't belong. That they aren't controlled by your opponents. But so both ways.
Oh, also that, yeah.
Yeah. At least it's foolproof like that.
Huh, neat. I didn't even think of that. Oh, it does say survivors your opponent's control can't block. Oh, duh.
Right. Everybody but me, block.
Huh, neat.
Okay, so I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
All right, I'm going to read this one, and then I'm wondering if this is going to be a thing in each one of the sets.
Okay.
Loyal Drake.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a
two and a
loyal
blue.
lieutenant in each deck.
Yeah. That was what I was wondering, is that, okay, this is lieutenant. This has a lieutenant ability, so does that mean each one's going to have a lieutenant? So for 2 and a blue, it's a 2/2 flying Drake that's uncommon. A lieutenant at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control your commander, draw a card. So that answered my question. I am willing to bet Loyal Drake is in the enchantment deck.
Well, there's 3 decks with blue in them.
Maybe?
So...
Well,
Loyal
it's
Drake.
it's uncommon, so it's probably, so that means it
Oh, yeah, that probably means it's in all of the decks with blue in it.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
I would just say that because all of a lot of the cards in the enchantment deck all seem to be focused around drawing a large number of cards.
Well, but that's, I mean, it's blue, so.
Yeah, and it's commander.
Yeah.
Oh, 10th Tech Priests in the chat said it's confirmed, going back to the crazy spell. What's it called? Reality Scramble?
Mm-hmm.
Said it's confirmed, not an unset leftover.
Oh,
Huh.
cool.
This art depicts a quaint little family dinner transmogrified into chaos. The bowl is a boot. The silverware are candlesticks. The kid is an octopus. Oh. All right, then. So I was going to read Myth Unbound. Have you guys seen Myth Unbound?
It's Unbound. What color is it?
Green.
Probably not me, but.
It's green.
For 2 and a green, it's an enchantment. Your commander costs 1 less to cast for each time it's been cast from the command zone this game.
So it basically cuts the commander tax in half.
Yep. And whenever your commander is put into the command zone from anywhere, draw a card. Now, that's all well and good. But look at that freaking art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's pretty sweet.
It's got all 6 of the basic land types represented. Sort of.
What?
Not really.
You said 6. Now I'm confused.
Yeah, because waste is a basic land type.
It's in there? Where is it?
That should be the far right one.
Yeah, now that I'm
Is that what
looking
that
at
is?
it, I think whoever originally told me that might have been mistaken. Because there's like,
There's 2 forests.
yeah, there's 2 forests and 2 things
Well, I
that
thought
could be a mountain.
snow-covered land.
Oh yeah, there's a snow cover. Shut up, Dirk. So I think possibly that person was mistaken. But still, the art is still insane. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know who that is. Is that Yuriko? No. What does she hold? This
Deck fade.
that is what someone in the Discord server said.
It's probably fade.
I mean, he is the greatest thief in the multiverse. Maybe he stole someone's silhouette.
Stole their shadow. He's Peter Pan.
He's always losing his own. I don't think he's stealing other people's. Or is he always stealing other people's and then losing them? That's kind of a grim.
Dag Faden's shadow going in taking stuff.
Or Peter
I
Pan.
want to know who this is. Like, the flavor text says, there are precious few names that echo throughout the multiverse. Who is it?
Well, I think it's supposed to be any of them. That's kind of the point. But what makes planeswalkers special is, or some of these legendary creatures, is that they're so well renowned that they're not just known in one place; they're known throughout the multiverse. So,
Oh, for God's sake!
Like
Yes,
Urza.
pharmacist judge, I'm very sorry. It's not a basic land type. It's the 6 basic land. All right, shut up, you freaking judge cult people. Anyway, all right. What else we got? How long have we been going? I've lost all track. Okay.
we've been going for a little while.
Yeah, let's do a few more and we'll call it and come back to it next week.
Sounds good. What is this?
I don't know. What is it?
It's an
It's a card.
Octopus Umbra.
I was literally just looking at that.
I know that they did other Umbras with the totem armor, and if you look down a little bit, you can see that the Eel Umbra is back. That's a reprint.
Yeah.
But this is at first I didn't even know what I was looking at, and I'm like, oh, Octopus Umbra, duh! It's an Octopus totem armor. For 3 and 2 blue, Enchant Creature. It's rare. Enchant Creature has base power and toughness 8/8, 5 mana, and has whenever this creature attacks, you may tap target creature with power 8 or less. Where's the downside? I guess I have to have a creature to enchant, but then I turn it into an 8/8, and then
5.
what?
For
For 5.
5.
For 5, yeah, for 5 mana, I'm turning creature into an 8/8. It still keeps all of its other abilities, so if it wants to hit people or draw cards or whatever, that's great. And then it has totem armor, so if they even try to destroy the creature, you're at least left with the creature. This seems silly. And it makes it harder to block it. And it's what am I even looking at? This is crazy. In a blue-red deck, I could see putting this on Varchild. I'm getting lots of survivors. But ironically, your opponent may not be surviving. Hey, Mike.
Yes.
What if an opponent has 8 survivors and then I kill them? Do I get this? The survivors are just gone, right?
Let me read Varchild. Yes, the survivors are gone because that player created them. Huh. Even if... Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, so, I mean, that player created them, so they own them. So, yeah, they go away. But that means even if you have gotten survivors from that player earlier in the game, like if you've gained control of survivors from that player earlier in the game, those survivors will also go away. That's important to remember.
Ooh. Okay. All right. The name for the next card next to it is also ridiculous. What's your job? Oh, I'm a lawyer. What's your job? Oh, I'm a doctor. What's his job? Oh, he's a humiliator. What?
So
Did
the
it take
chat.
you long? Do you have to go to college for that? Sorry,
No,
go
you
ahead.
just have to hang out on Reddit.
Oh.
I think the chat is going to riot if we don't read the storm cycle. So what's the
Yeah,
Vidalcan Humiliator do? And then we'll do the storms.
They've been clamoring for that for a while. The Vidalcan Humiliator for 3 and a blue is a 3/4. Oh wow, for some reason I thought it was a 1/4. For 3 and a blue, it's a 3/4 Vidalcan Wizard, and it has a Metalcraft ability. So whenever it attacks, if you control 3 or more artifacts, creatures your opponents control lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. And who will stop me? You?
Of course not, because I'm humiliating you. I mean, the ability is cool. I get it. It's definitely an artifact deck. It's just, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a humiliator. I'm sorry, what's that? I'm a humiliator. Jeez.
All right, jeez.
All right, so what is the storm thing?
So there's a one card in each color with the name something storm.
Black one's not up yet.
Yeah, I just got a link to it. I just have to figure out how to get it to here. Which I guess I can just pop over here and click on it and then open it. There we go. So, no, we're not there yet. Okay, so let's start with the white one.
Okay.
Imperial Storm. That's EMPYRIAL.
Yeah, as in heaven, So.
Yeah. For 4 white is a sorcery. When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game.
Oh, does that give me the common thread for these?
Yep. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. An inspiring and glorious ascent.
So let's say you cast your commander just once, because I mean you can make this in theory could go up a lot, but let's say you've done it once. You're getting 2 4/4s for 6 mana. I think that's really good. That's quite good.
2 4/4 flyers, no less.
2 4/4 flyers. Yes. Seems
Yeah.
good. Okay. Oh, hey, Winds of Wrath is here. That's funny.
But yeah, these have Commander Storm,
Okay.
which I guess is what we're just going to shorthand it.
Yeah.
So the blue one is Echo Storm.
And for this one, it costs 3 blue. And its thing is create a token that's a copy of target artifact.
Unorganized and methodical reproduction. Wow. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact. Okay. Huh, so you don't have to copy the same thing. That's really cool. Okay, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my brain was running through casting it real quick. Nice. Okay, so the black one is Skullstorm. Let me get it to you guys. There you go. Skullstorm. 7 black. Jesus! 7 black. Sorcery with Commander Storm. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Each opponent who can't loses half their life.
Their life rounded up?
Jesus!
What the?
Yeah.
A rapid and catastrophic decline.
No kidding.
Jeez, man.
Okay, so if you have cast your commander 3 times, and let's say something just happened,
This does cost 9,
and
so
everyone
yeah,
is it? What do you start with in commander?
40.
Thank you. So everyone's at 40. You've cast your commander 3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
So the first copy, everyone goes to 20.
If they can't sacrifice a creature.
What do you mean if they can't?
Each opponent sacrifices a creature.
Oh, right,
Each
right.
opponent
So
who
we're doing the math here. So no one has creatures, and I've cast my commander 3 times. Okay, so everyone goes to 20, and then everyone goes to 10, and then everyone goes to 5, and then everyone goes to 2.5, which is 3.
Well, loses half their life rounded up. So they would lose 3 life and go to 2.
Oh God, they lose! Ah!
Yeah, so this can actually kill.
This
someone.
can kill you. Oh my God!
I think I still prefer this art to Puking Fish.
Oh yeah, this art is so cute. Look at that.
You know, that was one of the first things I thought of when I saw this. Fish.
Jeez, that's crazy.
These are happy skulls and vertebrae. I don't know why you guys could think of puking fish. Look at, they're so happy.
And to be fair, you know, you're gonna sack creatures probably first, unless you got.
Well, you have to. It says if you can't.
If you can't.
Yeah, it's not either or. It's sack creatures, or if there are no creatures, then lose some life. This card is hilarious.
Huh, that's one word for it. Okay, what's the red one?
I don't know. It was what,
Fury
Fury?
Storm?
Yeah.
It's all got Storm in it. Fury Storm for 2 and 2 red. So it's an instant, okay? When you cast this spell, copy it for each time you cast your commander from the command zone for this game. Choose new targets for the copies. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new... Wait, what? Copy, but this is not... Okay, this is a lot... Is this a fork? This is a fork.
Yeah, it's a Commander Storm fork.
Okay, it just sounded weird right after the make copies of this, and then you get to what it actually does. It says it makes copies of things, so that's a little confusing. But it's a fork. But it may be more than one fork. So once again, say you've cast your commander once. This only costs 4, so maybe you only cast it once. Still, somebody else is like, hey, I'm going to cast the Brainstorm. And you're going to be like, great, I get 2 free Brainstorms. Well, not free, but I get 2 Brainstorm. Or if they play
multiple Brainstorms doesn't really do much, though, does it?
No, I thought about that. Okay, bad example. A Lightning Bolt. You Lightning Bolt. And I'm like, maybe I feels a little silly to pay 4 for this, but I get 2 Lightning Bolts. So
you want to get really confusing, what you do is you Fury Storm a Reality Scramble.
You're just saying that because it's right under it, aren't you?
Yep.
Although.
And because it's hilarious.
Okay, let's just go ahead and say, Warp World and be done with it.
Yeah.
You go to hell.
I might
I
if you play. Wolf
I
World
might
and I end
concede
up
on
in
the spot. You know what? No. Oh Lord! All right, the last one is the Genesis Storm. Who hadn't? Dirk didn't read one yet, right?
Yep, that's correct. All right, so Genesis Storm for 4 and 2 green. When you blah blah blah, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land permanent card. You may put that card onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom of your library in a random order. So go find a creature, put it on the battlefield, the stuff that's not, put it on the bottom of your library. And do that as many times so you can play a mess ton of creatures.
Well,
Depending on how many times you've had to play your commander.
Well, it's non-land permanent, so you can get planeswalkers or artifacts or enchantments.
Oh, that's true. Non-land permanents.
Yeah. Of course, Dirk goes to creatures first because, you know.
Well, it's green.
Dirk kill you.
That's the whole thing.
And the art has like these mystical elemental jackalopes on it. You know?
Freaking elemental jackalopes.
Could be in the enchantment deck, so could very well be, you know, get some auras.
Yeah, that would be
stuff.
enchantment, so.
Yeah.
Ancestral Mask and all.
Sorry, reflex. Well, what do you guys think?
I was going to say that it's about 10. We have covered a lot of the really interesting multicolored stuff and hit some things here and there. This may not be a bad place to stop because a lot of what we'll cover next time will be a smattering of new cards and a lot of quick hits with some really interesting reprints.
Yeah, and we'll have full deck lists and whatnot by then, so yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to stop.
Yes, it is.
Oh, by the way, thank you, 10th Tech Priest, for the link to the, what was that thing? Skullstorm.
Skullstorm!
Skullstorm! Anyway, so how about we have a random itch? How about we wrap this episode up with our usual final thoughts?
Sure. Do you need us to stay through them for the streaming purposes so that the graphic doesn't get all weird?
I mean, it would be nice, but it's not necessary.
Well, I'm not falling asleep yet. I will say for my final thought that my sister, Sally, had her baby.
Huzzah!
And my niece was born, Taylor Baker Caldwell. And she was a little light when she was born, not unhealthy, but enough they wanted to keep her for a day or two. And everybody's home now and doing really well. And looking forward to hopefully being able to see her. She does live a good ways away, like basically the other side of the country away. But everybody is happy and healthy, and that's by far the most important thing. So.
She's hot.
Yeah. So I hear.
For my final thought, I have two.
Uh-oh.
First final thought is, I recently acquired a new piece of gaming that I find awesome.
Wait, a new piece of gaming?
That is
That's
correct.
what he said.
Did it fall off the back of a truck? Like, usually when you hear the word acquired, that means stole.
Well, no, I'm not meaning stole or anything, but I had known this was out for a bit, but I hadn't really gone and bought it until I realized how hard it was to find. And that is the SNES Classic.
Ah!
Because it is amazing. It has 21 games on it, and as I was talking to my son this morning, I was like, I've beaten that game, and that game, and that game. Not that one, not that one, that one. No, no, no. Yes, no, no. And it's about half and half is what it is. A good bit of them are ones I've never played, but I've played the majority of the games on the list. But I mainly got it because the only games that the boys can well, Trevor right now, the only game that Trevor can play are the Lego games on the Xbox.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to find some games that were multiplayer that, in my opinion, old nostalgia games were sort of a good baseline to develop your ability to game with a controller. And so finding the SNES Classic, I thought these were some of the greatest games whenever I was growing up. And I think he would get a lot out of them, and it would help him develop better hand control techniques and all that. And so it's been really funny because he's been playing Mega Man X. And the poor boy, he is so terrible with it. He unfortunately, I really should have just gone with the NES Classic, because him being able to do two buttons at the same time is kind of, I can't watch him play. I'll be in the room
it's the
and
wall
I'll
jumping,
be
isn't it?
reading a book. I can't watch him play because I just want to take the controller out of his hands and just be like, just give it to me.
You gotta be
Because he can't do two buttons at the same time.
you gotta be patient, because like I've been there with Sam too, and the
Oh no,
the urge is pretty strong. I'm just like, here, let me help you out with that. But this is how they learn.
well, no, that was, and again, that's the reason why I got it, was that these were great games, and for the most part, the collection is pretty family friendly. There are games like Contra on there, but he's not gonna he's not interested in Contra. But most of the games would be ones that I would consider, games that he would enjoy. And so he's playing Mega Man X and he's playing Mario. World.
When I went to go see Carrie's family a little while ago while we were out, one of her stepsister got her stepbrother SNES Classic, and I was impressed. I was like, I thought those things sold out, and apparently they had the re-release. But I was looking at the full list of games, and I'm like, that's a good game, that's a good game, that's a good game.
Oh,
so,
every game on there is great.
Yeah, very solid choice.
And so I was able to acquire one. I had to drive 30 minutes out to acquire mine after I saved it, because I got this, it was last week, and I had to call. I saved it through GameStop through Lexington, and I had to drive to the other side of Lexington to get a hold of it. So yeah. But of course, that was better than my next choice, because my next closest option was the other side of Greensboro, and the next one after that was Mount Airy.
Hey, that GameStop in Lexington is where I got Rock Band 3 years ago. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
so they had, I got their last one.
Good for you.
So
I recommend
it's
Donkey Kong Country for Trevor.
That might be one that I send to, because I think that might require fewer buttons to push.
Yeah, not only is it a brilliant and amazing game, but it's also not terribly complicated in the slightest.
Yeah. I might have him play that next. The new game he tried today was Mario Kart.
Nice.
Also that, yeah.
He actually was doing pretty good with Mario Kart.
Original Mario Kart is tough, because as I recall it, because my cousin had it, when you're playing against the computer, certain characters would have basically unlimited access to a particular item. Like, oh, Toad should have unlimited mushrooms, because that makes sense. And Mario gets
didn't
stars.
somebody have a fire... Like, Bowser had a fireball that's not actually an item in the game, or am I thinking of a different game?
Can't remember.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I just remember like trying to beat some of the harder races and being like, I'm ahead, and Mario's like, okay, I'm just gonna use a star now, and I'm like, of course you are.
I haven't quite gotten up to that point. But the other thing was the new expansion of WoW's coming out, as you guys probably know.
Wow.
And so the most recent, they do little YouTube videos of stuff leading up to it, and the first one that got released is Warbringer Jaina. And Jaina is a badass in that she doesn't do anything, she sings a song. The video is a song, but it's essentially a little bit of her story.
Ooh.
And her story in terms of everything, in a very short synopsis, she had a lot of stuff going for her until essentially her world the bottom fell out, and she's now regretting all the choices, and so it's essentially a little sailor's tune.
I'll say it sounds like a lament.
It's a lament, yeah. It's a little sailor lament of everything, and her essentially saying, I'm beware the daughter of the sea, she's me. To say, I know I'm got this terrible story behind me. If you haven't seen it, it's really worth watching. So,
bye, Jars.
Bye.
He's been trying to say bye for a little while, so.
So, but if I'm curious to see what the next two are, because the next two are, I want to say it's Sylvanas and then Queen Ajara are the next two. And I already know, for the most part, the story. I'm curious to see what Sylvanas is going to be.
Oh, hey, while Dirk and Brian are both still here, they revealed the new character for Heroes of the Storm today.
Oh, who's that?
It's going to be Whitemane. Who the hell is Whitemane?
Let me go pull it.
Are they from WoW? Because I don't really know WoW.
Heroes of the Storm.
Sally Whitemane, apparently.
Sally Whitemane sounds like a cowboy.
What? Oh, yeah.
A priestess of the light and the High Inquisitor of the Scarlet Crusade. Buh!
Yeah.
That doesn't sound good at all.
The Scarlet Crusade were some crazy people. They're in the Plague Land, and the Scarlet Crusade was originally a good group of people who were out to clean the Plague Lands of the undead, but they became so fanatical that they actually splintered, and the other group became the Argent Dawn. Because the Argent Dawn, even though they're out to cleanse, they're not crazy fanatics. The Argent Crusade are crazy fanatics.
So yeah, High Inquisitor Whitemane is the next character who's coming out for Heroes of the Storm. There's been a door. You know how they have a still image, and then the next day they have a different still image. So it was a door, and then the next day it was a door that was open and you could see like a throne or something in the background. And then today it's Inquisitor Whitemane sitting on it. Like, oh, I don't know who that is, but cool.
Yeah. The Argent Crusaders, some really they are. If you're looking for people who are crazy, they would be the jihadists of, like, the fanatical jihadists.
Oh, goody. Scarlet Crusade. Okay, I'll look into this and see if I can figure out what she'll do. But they'll probably tell us tomorrow. Actually, they will tell us tomorrow. So never mind. They said they're going to reveal her character spotlight right after the first match in the HGC. So that'll be tomorrow. So never mind. I won't bother looking into it. I'll just watch the video when it goes up.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Mike? What you got?
Let's see. I feel like I'm just going to fall back on these cards look pretty great. I'm excited to check it out. And blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That seems kind of a cop-out, but I'm not sure if I have too much more to offer for this, because these are really cool, and it's always good to grab the commander stuff. They're always really fun and interesting. We still need to get into those others that we kind of accidentally skipped. The enemy colored ones. Still have those. But
oh, you meant the actual decks? Like,
yeah.
Playing them.
Yeah, playing them.
I was like, it's cool, Mike. We're going to do more next week. Oh, that's not what you meant.
I'm glad we finally got around to Skullstorm before chat, broke into our houses and started beating us over the head.
Yeah, right? Chat was going nuts for Skullstorm.
I can see why.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty limited final thoughts this week. I think I'm done.
Fair enough. So that just leaves me. Yay! So I want to thank all of you who are here live watching this with us, even though a large chunk of people left because apparently Critical Role started a few minutes ago. So I see where your loyalties lie. But that's cool because, you know, this will go out as a podcast. But, as always, you can find us all over the everywhere as the Manapool. So over on youtube.com/themanapool, I've had one video a day going up for like ever now. I'm so proud of me. Let's see, we didn't record last week, did we?
Nope.
Right, because it would only have been me and Mike, which means no show. Yeah. So, since then, I have finished The Walking Dead on YouTube. I've had more Hearthstone ranked games go up. I finally beat Toki in the Monster Hunt. Finally. Yes. I've had more Plague Inc. go up. I've had the first of the last 2 Cuphead videos go up where I took down King Dice. Slay the Spire. Reigns went up today, I think. Yeah.
I understand you beat Toki.
I literally just said that, yeah.
And I must have just glanced over. I apologize, but I think it's fair.
See, Brian came from the past.
I did, but I know how hard you were fighting her for such a long time. So.
Yeah, and like the beginning of the run that actually won was so bad that I think it was JD Phoenix asked, "How bad does it have to be until you just retire?" And I'm like, "Never." And then I won. And it was pretty awesome. I was certain I was dead like 4 times over the course of that run and managed to pull things out of various orifices to not die. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to check that one out.
The Slay the Spire video that went up was the first part of a run that actually won. My very first win. Spoilers. But yeah, that was really awesome. And then after that, I've got another run that was the Daily Climb, which is like the Slay the Spire equivalent of a tavern brawl. And I won that too. More spoilers. But they were so awesome that I'm gonna cut them up and put them on YouTube. It'll be like a total of 6 videos, I think, because it seems like every world or whatever is basically 1 video's worth. So, and then yeah, today's video was a game called Reigns, which is a decision-making game where you're a king and you're trying to balance the powers of religion, population, military, and money in your kingdom by yes or no-ing questions, essentially. And it's endearing and adorable and hilarious. There were several points that I just fell out laughing while playing. So I'm not going to tell you how many times my various kings got eaten by dragons. But it was more than one. So yeah, and coming up in the next few days is the final battle for Hagatha and the Monster Hunt. That should go public tomorrow. And then I've got more Hearthstone and more Plague Inc. and more Slay the Spire and more Reigns. I got videos for freaking days coming up, and I'm so excited. My new method of focusing on streaming as the source of content and then chopping it up and putting the good stuff up on YouTube is working so well that I'm so far ahead with the amount of videos I have that I'm gonna keep falling behind with turning streams into videos. But now that we're streaming Monday Night Magic and the Manapool here on Twitch, I'm probably gonna cut out a day or 2 of actual streaming, so I'm not streaming every damn night. You know. Yeah.
Are you excited for Goblins and Gnomes Part 2?
Yes. The more cards I see from the Boomsday Project, the more excited I get.
I'm not sure how I feel about it yet.
It is super cool. That's the new Hearthstone expansion for those of you that aren't in the know. But anyway. So that's Twitch and YouTube, and we're on Twitter. And there's a Discord server now. By all means, come join the Discord server. We're all decent people there. And if not, I will, kick your ass out. So... we have channels, a Discord server. It's essentially like an old ICQ thing, apparently, or an IRC channel. I don't know. I never did any of this stuff back in the day. But we have channels for the different games, that we all play. Like there's a Magic channel and a Hearthstone channel and a Heroes of the Storm channel and an Overwatch channel and a channel for D&D because enough people were talking D&D that I went, all right, and made its own channel. There's channels for feedback on the Manapool and Monday Night Magic and the video content and streaming content, There's a channel that's transparency where I tell people what I'm doing and, show you the process by which I am a content creator. Which, because so many people don't seem to understand how much work goes into it, I'm trying to open that up so more people can see. So like every day when I sit down at the computer, I'm like, all right, here's the plan today. And then I report back at the end for how successful I was or wasn't. Like the plan today was to make the thumbnail for Hagatha. Done it. Make the overlays for the stream that you guys are watching right now. Done it. But that took 4 hours. So then I stopped and ate dinner. And then I did manage to get the first Hearthstone video edited but not rendered. So I at least got most of it done. But anyway, the whole point is, like I said, I'm trying to be very open and honest with how I do what I do. Because people seem to want to know and enjoy it. So nice. And I think I will shut up now. Except if you want to help support what I do, there are many ways. If you want, you can spread the word. That's the easiest way. That's free. Tell someone about something. A stream, YouTube video, the podcast. Tell somebody something. Be like, hey, have you checked these guys out? That's the best way to do it. Put it on Reddit. That's a good way to do it too. I don't understand Reddit. We have a Manapool subreddit. I don't know how it works. I don't know. It's just sitting there. So but that's the easiest way. Another way is to, if you have Amazon Prime, and I know a lot of you do, it's very simple to support me or any small streamer, because if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch subscription with that every month. All you have to do is link your Amazon and Twitch accounts, which you can Google that. It's very simple. I did it, so it can't be that hard. And then you get, and there's one right there. JD Phoenix just became a lifeguard for some amount of time in a row. What does it say? It doesn't say, so there you go. That's the sound you heard. But anyway, give it to a smaller streamer, if you will. If you're not going to give it to me, please use it, because it's free. It's part of your Amazon Prime, and if you're not using it, it's just going to waste. So please, if you don't give it to me, give it to some smaller streamer out there. And
the chat log says JD Phoenix used Twitch Prime.
Yeah, see? And Damashu just threw some bits and said, or I can help this way. So thank you, Damashu. But of course, the most direct way is on Patreon. And at patreon.com/themanapool, you can get Manapool episodes and YouTube videos early. You can get the early stuff and the odds and ends, all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool that is uncensored and unfiltered. And you get to hear Clues swear. That's also where we talk about all the stuff that's going on in our lives and things. And I had to edit the last one that went up because Brian was like, hey, name of my kid's school. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, delete. So...
Was that me or was that Dirk?
Nope, that was you.
Or is it? Okay.
But that's why I listen through them, is to delete all of the personal information. So
Nice.
But yeah, uncensored, unfiltered, yeah. And then if you're feeling extra generous, you can become a Patreon lifeguard. I need to come up with a new name for one of those, because the Twitch lifeguard and the Patreon lifeguard are totally different. And the word lifeguard, like, I need somebody come up with something like Lifeguard Prime. I don't know. But you can get the shout out on both podcasts and the name on the end slate for all the videos that go up that month. So to that end, I'd like to thank Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Paul David, Lance Delicious, Team You Hellas Are You, John Morris, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Bosco Bertain, Casey, Nathan Hay, Danny Liao, Jason Doan. Oh no, I blinked and I lost it. AJ Javieris, Cody Buckawing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, John Parker, Jimmy Scott, Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Millerburn, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine.
Nice.
Thank you all so very much for your generosity. I quite literally could not do it without you. So with that, I guess we're done. So this has been the Manapool number 518. You totally could have come and watched us live. Join us live next week, Thursday nights, around 8 or so Eastern. Or so. So thank you all so very much for listening, and go play some Magic.